Hello guys, this is Pedro Ambraufi from Gerchik Co and you're watching the markets review for this week. You're going to check the situation on the news background. You're going to check the situation on the stock market indexes. Some of them have dropped really deeply, but there is still some, as we say, chances for them to rebound again. We're going to check the technical situation with Forex pairs. So we're going to make some decisions for day traders and as well for midterm traders of the Forex market. And we're going to check the gold prices, commodity prices like oil. And at the end of the program, we're going to check the situation on this cryptocurrency market, which is now kind of getting more scary, and there would be some places nowadays, some minimums, some local minimums on the charts of Bitcoin and Ethereum after their Tesla, which can actually get into market again. We're going to check all the situation together, and of course we're going to start from the news background. As you know, from last week nothing changed, but there was a new spread of virus of a monkeypox around the world, which have made markets to get into some unstable condition again. This would actually mean that maybe the commodity prices like gold, silver could rise again. This would mean that maybe we're getting in a new era of a new pandemic, but already the speed 14 countries have been already infected. There is some chances of vaccination recovery, which have been already explored in some countries. So there won't be the same situation with coronavirus, but there would be another pandemic, like maybe an Ebola, but less scary. So would it leave any kind of impact on stock markets of Europe, for example, or United States? It could, and it could actually make its own impact on war situation. As you know, war's continuing, and it could get worse, as many analysts, many war analysts are telling us every day. But this kind of factors, right, like the spreading of different type of viruses around the world, could kind of stop another factors of markets downtrend shift. So let's start today's analysis from the economy calendar. And as we know, for Tuesday, we're going to check the releases, the economic releases from different countries by the GMT time, by the Greenwich time. So today's releases, half of them actually have been already released. For Great Britain, releases were not that good as it was expected. Actually, Germany surprised us because of manufacturing PMI, which have been raised. There's still some releases for today. New home sales of United States, which is getting lower, and that's not a really good factor for United States dollar to rise. Rather, it could actually make United States dollar under pressure during the American session. And the Federal Reserve System of the United States, Jerome Powell speaks today, and of course, in the case of dovish rhetoric or hawkish rhetoric, it could change the situation with dollar index during the American session of today market. So tomorrow's most important releases, I think that's German GDP, which is not changing any kind of rise in these numbers. For example, as we see, the prognosis is exactly the same of previous numbers. So if we get any kind of better numbers for this quarter, that would be a real good signal for euro to rise against dollar. And next comes for tomorrow core durable goods order from United States, which is not rising. Of course, dollar prices could be under pressure during this week. Crude oil inventories deficit is getting lower, and that's a really good news for suppliers, but that's a really bad news for buyers of oil. So as we know, deficit is getting lower, and because of that, oil prices could be under pressure. Here, dollar prices could get a chance to rise, for example. So you have to be careful. And FOMC meeting minutes, which is related to Federal Reserve System monetary policy, actually. And for Wednesday, if I no, it's going to be Tuesday. Yes, Thursday. Thursday, GDP of the United States, which is really important, getting lower. No good news. Initial jobless claims. As we expect every time, it's like a really mild downward trend, which is continuing. Core retail sales, which is getting less in Canada, but oil prices could help Canadian dollar prices to rise. But in the case of oil prices dumping because of some oil inventories rising, for example, or the deficit falling, this would help, but this won't actually help in Canadian dollar annual prices as well. Pending home sales from the United States at 2 o'clock at Thursday, deficit of which is getting higher. That's not really good news for dollar. So during this week, we actually can mention that there is some releases for United States, which are not really great, which are not that optimistic. So let's check the situation on the stock market and how it looks, how the stocks look. From previous weeks, we told you that prices of S&P 500, as the other stock market indexes, are going to retest the local psychological levels. And for S&P 500, this level was $4,000. And from previous time, we actually left some range for the retest and for the potential of the further downward trend, which have been continued to 3,800 actually. So the prices kind of retested this level and now returning again to the consolidational form. So as we reminded you, there would be some stop in downward trends. There could be speculations, as we see here. There was a speculation, and it could actually continue and happen again. But here, between 4,100 and 3,800, we are going to have some consolidation anyway. And this consolidation would show that prices in near future, the prices of stock market are not going to fall that much, but they could fall really mildly and moderately, which means that mostly in some downward channel or in some consolidational corridors, it could continue to move. And next comes Dow Jones Industrial Index of the United States, which is showing itself exactly as saying so. For Dow Jones, our target levels were 32,000 and 30,000. So 30,000 we haven't retested yet, and that's the really good news. I think that prices are going to be above 3,100, 31,000, 31,500, which would mean that in this case there would be the continuation of consolidation, but no downward trends. So this would be really good news. Next comes NASDAQ prices, the high-tech index of the United States stock market. Really conservatively have been already stopped the downward trend, 12,000, 11,500, which were the range of the retest of the potential downward trend. Have been retested really greatly. We have a signal of a reversal here. We have a false breakthrough of local minimum. And in the case of next speculations, you have to be careful with short position, because here we could have the reversal. We are waiting for this reversal about a month, I think, and this reversal is going to happen, but there is still some speculative moment. So we have the probability of speculation as we had from previous time, and prices are shrinking the volatility during their falling. So as S&P 500, as Dow Jones, and here on NASDAQ, the situation would be the same. So the shrinking of volatility while you are falling. And when the speculation ends, prices are going to reverse. Next, to get into Forex market and Forex pairs, first we are going to check the dollar prices. And from previous time, we told you that dollar prices are going to reverse despite tightening of monetary policy, despite hawkish tone of Federal Reserve System Chairman Jerome Powell. You actually have to know that dollar prices technically have been retested the local maximum, and it made the false breakthrough of local resistance, after which it actually started to fall. And the situation which we are now observing after is the continuation of this movement. So we have predicted already that price of dollar is going to reverse after the test of 105, and that's the situation which we have. So are they going to fall further? To 100 they could, but let's say 110, I'm sorry, 102, 101 is the range after the test of which prices could get into some consolidation movement. In the case of oil prices rising, dollar prices could continue to fall, but in the case of oil prices falling, there won't be any chances for dollar to fall. Dollar would actually reverse and consolidate around 102, 100, 101. So there's a range of which dollar could retest. I'm not telling that dollar is already shifting into downward trend. Dollar is just impulsively retesting the local support, and it could get into another consolidational movement, then start to fall. And next comes euro dollar, pound dollar, Australian dollar, United States dollar, and New Zealand dollar as well. We're going to check the Forex pairs. And as we see, the situation with dollar actually helped euro to rise further after the test of local minimums. It was strengthening above the local support of 1.48, 1.40, and that was a signal of the continuation of upward movement, as we told you from previous time. For now, I think that prices are going to resist 1.080, 1.085, and then they're going to get into another phase of consolidation, and then maybe after they're going to start to rise again. So any kind of fast or furious rally for prices of euro, pound, Australian dollar, or New Zealand dollar, for now I cannot say that there would be any kind of probability. But as we predicted for previous time, dollar prices reversal made euro, pound, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar to start the upward movement, and that's what happened. 1.24, under this level we could actually sell. So before we get under this level, the priority for this pair would be with buyings, and the market is going to be bullish. Australian dollar to United States dollar. As well, here 0.7 is a psychological level about the retest of which we told you that prices are going to retest this level. Now they're kind of rising above this level, but the shrinking of volatility is really scary. This shrinking of volatility is happening with a really mild divergence. Simultaneously, divergence is going on between the maximums and the line of oscillator, which is not really good news. It would be the signal of reversal. But let's say that there would be some speculation to 0.71 in near, 0.7150, 0.72 in near future, but after the price is going to get into a consolidational form, price action is going to get into a consolidational phase, and then after that, maybe there would be some retests of the psychological level of 0.7, and then after that, prices are going to rise again. So before we get under 0.70, there would be chances of the midterm, of the continuous of upward movement in midterm. And the New Zealand dollar to United States dollar situation have to be the same. 0.7, 0.64, 0.63 is a range. Before we get into it, we could actually continue to buy. In the case of getting into the range 0.64, 0.63, we could actually think about short-term intraday short positions to sell this pair. But before we get inside this range, we could actually say that the priority is going to be with bulls, to be with buying market. So next we're going to go through the oil prices. We're going to check the commodity prices as well, and oil prices, maybe some oil currencies like Canadian dollar as well. So oil prices haven't retested 100, as we said from previous time. Prices are reversing really fastly because of this impulse. We told you that prices maybe even won't get to $100. So that's what happened. They didn't actually get to $100. They actually finished the downward trend above 104. And now they're rising with a really low amplitude, which is not a good news. And I think that maybe there would be, in the near future, there would be some upward speculations, bullish speculations to 115, for example. And after the price are going to reverse again and retest 104, 100 maybe, and then strengthen again. So in the midterm as well, before we get under 100, there is no chances for oil prices to get into downward phase. Oil is located in an upward phase, but this upward phase has a really low amplitude, which won't really let you to earn on it in the midterm. So you could actually trade here inside the corridors, inside the consolidational formations intraday. And the gas prices, which is now really pumped by the help of war situation, which is now gone. And this could actually continue in the near future because, as we see here, and as we told you, prices are going to break through the local maximum. That's happening right now. And from previous time, prices were inside the consolidation. We told you that the maximum downward potential is 750, but prices haven't even retested this level. So 8 and next level, which we have been targeted for, was 850, and now we're getting near to 9, and in near future we could get even to 950 as well. You have to pay attention. The sanctions against Russian gas are going to get tightened, are going to get more scary and more serious. So in this case, gas prices have a really great chance to rise further. Next comes the gold prices. We're going to check the commodity prices now, which are the risk assets. As you know, risk assets rise furiously in the case of some scary crisis prediction coming up, for example, like coronavirus or another kind of virus. So from previous week, we had a news about this monkeypox, but as we know, the vaccine is already exists. So that's only some factor of pressure above this war factor, conflict factor, which is now going on, which could get really harsh and more scary. But that's the way how things change in the world. So the spreading of a new virus and many other factors getting less valuable, for example. But how it would work in near future, we don't know. Would it mutate, for example, in some way? And as we know, that's a virus which is, I think, really heavy, so it gets or spread in a really low distances. I think we have to actually see what is it exactly, what's kind of disease is this. So 1,850 for gold prices. Now we are located around this level, and from previous time we had reversed from 1,800, which was really great news. Prices have been rise further, but there is some shrinking of volatility, which is now going on. So volatility is getting shrink when we are rising, and so we just could say that there would be some speculation, some bullish speculation to 1,900. But after the price are going to get into some consolidational formation. So even if we get an speculation movement in the near future, bullish speculation movement, speculative movement, there won't be really high chances of the continuation of this trend in the midterm. So in midterm, we have to be more concentrate on a movement like a consolidational movement, even for gold, and of course even for silver. I think the situation have to be the same. We're going to check it now. The silver prices. So as we see, silver prices have been retested the psychological level of 20-20-50, and now shrinking as well. There is no signal of divergence, but it could appear in the near future. So you have to pay attention to this divergence between maximums and oscillator line. For now, we have a chance of speculative movements to 22.50, maybe 23. I don't think so, but continuation of this movement of price action is going to be in a inside the consolidational formation. So you have to pay attention to 22.50, maybe 21.50 are the range between which inside which we are going to have a consolidational movement. And next comes, I think, is United States dollar to JPY. As we said, 113 have been retested, and next comes downward trend. This downward trend is really mild. It's really not strong, because dollar prices mostly are going to consolidate, not to fall that much. They're going to consolidate. In midterm, they could fall actually, but in short term, they're just going to consolidate. So as well, here we have the same consolidation as well. 128 was the level which we said that prices are going to retest again. That happened. There would be some downward speculations to 126, but this don't have to make you to believe in the continuation of this movement. We have already a convergence signal between minimums and the oscillator line, which could be a really good signal for buyers. But before it activates, we could have some downward speculative movements to 126. And United States dollar to CHF have felt a little bit harder because CHF is more powerful than Japanese yen. So one of the reasons why Japanese yen is not making any downward rallies or downward deep movements is that Japanese yen is less powerful than Swiss franc, and Swiss franc could actually make dollar to get a little lower than we could see on the chart of United States dollar to Japanese yen. Psychological level is really far again, and we could actually rise to it again. 0.96. I don't think that we're going to break through it. We're going to maybe retest it, but mainly there's a really great level of risk which you could use, or even to use it to activate the limit orders for long positions, because we've already have the false breakthrough of local minimum, and the next step is going to have to be a reversal. So we could here have a reversal in the near future, which could really happen. And next comes the Bitcoin prices, about which we already told you that at the end of the program we're going to check the Bitcoin market and the cryptocurrency market. So from previous time, prices have been retested 28,000. We told you that there's a chance of further downward trend. It didn't happen. Many of analysts nowadays are really shocked by that. Why stock market, and as well the Bitcoin is not falling that much, because I think that it's a little bit soon to say that stock market and Bitcoin market are going to fall that much. They could fall maybe in future by the help of some factors, but not now. And I actually told you about this previous time. About Bitcoin, I was really pessimistic as well, but you have to always take in mind the correlation which exists between Bitcoin prices and stock market prices, about which even I forget sometimes. So as we see, not stock market, no, nor Bitcoin are falling, and $30,000 is a level above which actually we are going to have a really great speculative movement. So in the near future, we could have some really good bullish speculative movements. And on Ethereum chart, this situation have be $2,000, and we are now testing $2,000. And above this level, we are going to have a really great speculative movements, bullish speculative movements. So get ready for them. After that, we're going to return to the consolidational movement and maybe even follow it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you won't miss next programs. And don't forget to check the official site of Gerchik Co. There you can find different type of courses and in trading, interesting boxes with different instruments for experienced traders and for beginners, which you can actually buy with a really great sell-offs on our website. So don't forget to check this information. Until next time, have good tradings and take care of yourself. Bye bye.